All right, Salaki, this is part two of the first installment. I'm just going to go ahead and go back to the article. Close thing out in a second. You know what I'm saying? You know, we battle with spiritual wickedness in high places. You already know what time it is, man. So I'm going to go ahead and continue Salaki for that. But I'm going to go ahead and share back the screen and just bring out a little bit more information, filter out everything through a few more biblical prophecies and close this thing on out. So getting back to this main article here, okay. So jumping down here, it says Biden was joined by civil rights leaders and members of Congress, including Republican Bobby Rush, who authored the bill in the House. Vice President Harris, who co-sponsored a version of the bill when she served in the Senate, also attended the signing in the Rose Garden. Harris, who was the first woman of color to serve as vice president, called lynching a stain on the history of our nation. Lynching is not a relic of the past, she said. Racial acts of terror still occur in our nation, and when they do, we must all have the courage to name them and hold the perpetrators to account. Now, let's see if she be willing to keep the same energy, regarding the crimes, the same crimes that she is looking to, to support, not going unaccounted for, is, you know what I'm saying, is of the same vibration of crimes that she was responsible for, regarding the result of these crimes, being the oppression and affliction of Jake, being sentenced to jail and whatnot. So I'll come back to this article in a second, but let me bring out this information on medium.com. Kamala's crimes against black people and 8 reasons why we should oppose Kamala Harris. On Tuesday, July 11th, Democratic presidential candidate Joseph Biden announced Senator Kamala Harris as his vice presidential running mate. Some people are excited at the possibility of having a black woman as vice president, deeming the announcement as a watershed moment and vowing to support Biden-Harris campaign. Why? Because they're pushing the idea of the so-called white man, the slave master, and the so-called black woman, the mammy, the house sitter. The individual whose mind was weaponized against her own nation. Which is why, regarding, the history of, the segregation laws and whatnot, they would pit the so-called dark slave against a lighter skinned slave, the slave wife against the slave man, by further turning the children against the man to further compromise the structure of the household. And the so-called black woman played a pivotal role in that, which, the reason behind that goes back to Genesis, the 3rd chapter, the covenant made with the serpent on behalf of Eve. And Eve is a so-called black and indigenous woman, symbolic of the daughter of Zion. All right, so going back here, it says Harris is also being championed by some for her past as so-called progressive prosecutor. All right. These are sentiments that we must reject. However, if we are to be true freedom-loving people, Kamala Harris is a neo-colonist sellout, a member of the colonized nation who has done everything throughout her political career as prosecutor, district attorney, state attorney general, and U.S. senator to strengthen colonialism, factory, and that's facts, and parasitic capitalism at the expense of the black working class. Says she was a top cop of California. She has locked up African-American parents because their children miss school. Now here's the one I really want to focus on. And that's despicable, man. See, this is hypocrisy of these ministers of Satan. But they'll sit there in front of your face, or stand in front of your face rather, and act like they're trying to help you when really trying to further throw you into a pit, which I'm about to get in a second. It says Kamala also locked up African people for weed. As district attorney, over 8,000 people were arrested for marijuana in 7 years. Almost 2,000 of those arrested were in prison. During an interview with the Breakfast Club in February 2019, she laughed as she admitted to smoking weed herself while she was in college. You see that? But she'll prosecute Jake for the same thing within harsh sentences, man. So you can read the rest of this, man, to further learn about her wicked prosecutions against Jake. She supported the death penalty mainly towards Jake. She refused to prosecute police who murdered our people. You see the people throwing up the black fist are some of The same people that were celebrating over this madness, man. These legislations passed like Juneteenth and whatnot. So I'm gonna go. That's pretty much it, man. So I'm going to get this next precept in Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, or Sirach chapter 12, verse 16. All right. All right, and it reads, an enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart, his mind, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit, which is symbolic of death and destruction. That's why I say Matthew 15:14, it says, the blind leaders of the blind shall lead the blind to a ditch. Okay, and that's 2/3 being led by this devil, wandering after this dragon in his system, pursuing Revelation 13:3. That's why a lot of people drank the dragon juice for no chaser. And ultimately, within that, as the guys of the MOT to the B, the CHIP, the Charagma, Jake gonna line up hook, line, and sinker and take the CHIP. Okay? You know, by having their backs against the wall, okay, having their resources weaponized against them, okay, to further bend their will, okay, to bow down before the image of the dragon, man, and take his MARK, his Charagma. You see? And this is really what, these measures are being used for, man. These legislation they sign into authority, these executive orders and whatnot, okay, so forth. All right, it's Sirach 12 and 16. The enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagined how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. You see, they can't get enough of our bloodshed. So now they have transition to, other crafty measures of destroying us spiritually and mentally through their indoctrination systems, okay, aka schools and universities or whatnot, okay, where they teach us their curriculum, like Columbus supposedly discovered America, and that's a goddamn blatant lie, man. Okay, case in point, it's all to keep us mentally and spiritually intertwined and conjoined with the system. Okay, so the slavery process remains easier. Sirach 12 and 17, if adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. So on that article on Democracy Now! And said that there have been, within that article, it mentioned how from the year 2000 to 2016, there was at least 79 unreported lynchings of guess what demographic of people? Our people, man, that are never reported on. That's that, and this is a fulfillment of this prophecy, man. Okay, where there's adversity, they're there first. Okay, and that's why they neglect reporting on such things, because they're behind it, man. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first, and though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. He will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance, man. So we're not ignorant of his devil devices, man. Okay, so I'm going to get Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 11. And it reads, because ye were glad, because ye rejoiced, O ye destroyers of mine heritage, because ye are grown fat as a heifer at grass and bellow as bulls. So why do they grow fat? By destroying the Lord's heritage, man. Okay, bringing great destruction to his heritage. Not destroying us all together, but damn near destroying us all, man. That's why the tribe of Gad for the northern kingdom is damn near non-existent, man. Where I've met like a handful of Gadites, man. I can't even really count them all on my hand, no cap. You see, so because this devil, like within the secular history of the legacy of America, bloodshed of Jake, okay, these devils have destroyed at least 100 million Native Americans, man, from the tribe of Gad. Okay, destroying them in a res. Okay, through severe oppression. Like I was watching this lesson by the main camp, and the elder brother Amawan Kabar, did a side lesson on this Gadite brother, coming up troubled in the spirit, contrite in the heart, man, in his mind. You see, and he could tell he just flocked to brothers because he could feel the spirit. The true divine was not understanding, okay, of YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI flowing through these men. You see? And that's why I'm starting to witness that myself more and more, where people starting to flock more to us, man, because they know that we move at a higher frequency than the rest of the world, because we govern ourselves through this word. You see? you know, and his word contains the prophecies that further outlines or further rather substantiates who we are through biblical prophecy, man. We are that heritage, okay, this devil has sought out to destroy. And that's why in this chapter it mentions how his empire, Babylon the Great, okay, is going to be hit with nukes, man, from his adversaries, man. And that's why North Korea is continuing to test off missiles despite the sanctions that the U.S. has placed on them. And these other nations further furbishing their sword within these war games and whatnot. See, because of because of the wickedness this devil has done against the chosen people of the Lord. Jeremiah 50:12, your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. That's because America is going to be completely destroyed, 100%. Okay, we're seeing Isaiah the 24th and 34th chapters, man. Okay, Jeremiah 49. Okay, you see. Jeremiah 50:13, because the wrath of YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Every one that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. See, okay, this place is about to be riddled, man. Okay, and who's going to bring the destruction? Okay, all right, the bridegroom. Okay, the lamb. We get that precept, Isaiah 60. So the question is, who's going to account for all of this bloodshed of the saints? Okay, the so-called negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, while they sitting up there bullshitting, with the announcement, the celebrations behind the announcement of these legislations of oppression. Who's going to account for all that blood? This is for the folly of their empire, man. That's why Amos 9:8, prophesies this place to be the sinful kingdom, America, Babylon the Great. This is Isaiah 63:3. I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I would tread them in mine anger and trample them in my fury. And their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. And I see YAHAWASHI coming back to bathe his garment in the blood of Bozrah, like it mentions here in this chapter. Okay, and the inhabitants of Bozrah, or the inhabitants of ancient Mount Seir, man, the Edomites, dwelling in high mountainous ranges, man. And that's why during the Dark Ages, we chase these devils into the caves during the Dark Ages, man. Okay? Well, they remained in until the Renaissance period, man. And that's why their skyscraping buildings and whatnot are of a mountainous range, man. They're lofty buildings, prophesied in Isaiah the 26th chapter, to further confirm who they are. See? Isaiah 63:4. For the day of vengeance is in my heart. For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. Okay, and this could be the very year. Okay, because 1,000 years to us is only one day to YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, pursuing 2 Peter 3rd chapter. So we know within that time, that appointed time to come, pursuing Habakkuk 2 and 3, man. Okay, to witness the downfall of our enemies, prophesied in Ecclesiasticus, Sirach 25:7, and ultimately the salvation of our people. Spoken about in Romans 13:11 and other precepts, man. You see. So we're about to be redeemed out of here very soon, because these last few prophecies are coming to pass, man. Isaiah 63, and let me see where I'm going to continue. Start at verse 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom, who dyed garments from Bozrah, would dyed Slakia? Who is this that cometh from Edom, would dyed garments from Bozrah? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. So YAHAWASHI is going to crack them clouds through the fellowship of all chariots that these devils have further classified as UFOs and UAPs, and deliver the children of Israel by translating the elect up into the chariots, man. And some of us are not going to even die. See? I believe it says in St. Matthew, the 26th chapter. Okay, so he's going to bring that salvation to the kingdom of Jerusalem, pursuing the Revelation 21:10, man. Very soon. Okay? So we, and that's who's going to make you devils, okay, give account for the blood that you have shed, the blood of the saints, pursuing Revelation 16, in which he's going to require you to be given plenty of blood to drink, okay, the blood of your own comrades, man. That's why he's going to slay your armies, man. All 6 branches of your military, including the Space Force, United Nations troops, your NATO, EU allies that stand with you, okay. For those who are foolish enough to stand with you anyway, okay. You're going to be destroyed, because though hand join hand in hand the wicked shall not go unpunished, roughly paraphrasing, man. So even if you're an Israelite and you're fighting in this devil's armies, you will be destroyed in these last days, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and, so this is of our hope to see the downfall of enemies, man. To receive that true justice. You see, okay, by he and only he who can give it. I'm gonna end this off in Psalm chapter 34, verse. What is it? No, it's Slakia. Psalm chapter 37, verse 34. Okay, and it reads, Salakia, wait on the Lord, YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, and keep his way, and he shall exalt thee to inherit the land. When the wicked are cut off, thou shalt see it. It says, wait on the Lord, YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, and keep his way. Yeah, the ancient past, like it says in Sirach 39:1, okay? And including being preoccupied in prophecy, man. Not being distracted by the affairs of this life that chokes the word and makes it unfruitful. Psalm 37:34, wait on the Lord, YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, and keep his way, and he shall exalt thee to inherit the land. When the wicked are cut off, thou shalt see it. And this devil's going to be cut off for all he's done against our people, man. You see? So I said I was going to go back to this article here. But, yeah, man, I believe the point has been made. You see? Otto and Rothschilds, this was further edifying his ordinance elect. But I'm going to go ahead and share back the screen one last time and just, make a comment on this article here. Dealing with the Northern Kingdom, because you're part of this prophecy too, man. Okay? The Lord said that, what's that, St. John, the 10th chapter, that he has sheep of the old, man. That's referring to the Northern Kingdom. So you're going to be saved as well. A third of the Northern Kingdom. Okay? Including those who are of the 144,000. Okay? So just give you a further visual, man, on this history. Because, Northern Kingdom, Jake don't even know about this history, man. Okay? And, we further came into this history because we came out of that sleep. You see? Look at this, man. These are clearly so-called Hispanics being lynched. Okay? There's a lot of information here. I'm going to have to do a side lesson on this. Right here. Basically, in this passage right here, it goes into how this Issacharite brother took it upon himself to wage war on the Edomites, for the hell that they had caught down there, putting their people to death. That's why during the Mexican-American War, okay, they signed these devils signed the Guadalupe Hidalgo Treaty to separate certain lands from Jake. You see, for a further fulfillment of Micah the 2nd chapter, man. You see, and that further confirms who this devil is. Okay, the self-proclaimed white man. There's no other demographic of people that fits that curse, or in this case, rather, fits that prophecy right here. These lynchings took place in the Southwest U.S. and present-day Texas, California, Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, Nevada, among other states. And this was all so-called Mexican territory, man. You see that? So they stole your land. Then they set up a border to keep you out of your own land. Okay? See, now, ironically, I'm going to end it off in this precept. And this is going to happen to his border. You see, because a border is a territory enclosed in a certain amount of space or a certain space, so within his border, he's going to be destroyed. Malachi chapter 1, verse 4. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. And that's why they sought out, America to start, to locate a new area to, to establish their NWO, which included, institutionalized colonialism. Okay. It says, thus said the Lord YAHAWAH of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord YAHAWAH hath indignation forever. And that's why in this article, it mentioned how, what did it say here? Such acts were short-lived and perpetuated the conflict between Mexicans and Anglos, symbolic of Jake versus Esau. You see that? So Malachi 1:4. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus said Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord Yahweh hath indignation forever. So the Lord going to destroy this devil's borders, ironically. You see? So, hey, like I said in Sirach 25:7, it's one of the joyous things to see the downfall of enemies, and we are at the very, end of this devil's rulership to further witness, when these last few prophecies come to pass, and that's the downfall of this devil, okay, and the redemption of our people, prophesied in Isaiah 61:4. So I'm going to end it off there. All right, shalawam to your elect. On to the next one.